Hey, what's up? I just woke up from a nap. You can tell. I look like shit. I don't care. I had this dream that's like fucking with me right now. And I don't think it's literal. I don't really know where to start. First, I was in my house, and I was with I was having people over. Some of the people were new people. It was like I was celebrating new people in my life. And a friend of mine who's actually paralyzed walked in the front door. She walked in the front door, and I grabbed her. I was crying. I was so happy to see her. I was so happy she was walking. But then I went outside, and there were like no houses. I was like in like this like farm area, and I got swept by water down this road. And in my dream, it was a road that I knew, but it's not a road that I know in like life. But it was a road that I apparently walked down a lot of times in my dream. And I was being pushed by the current down this road, and there were cars coming up the road, and I just kept going faster and faster and faster, and I started getting nervous that I was gonna hit something, or something under the water was gonna hurt me. It was gonna, get caught up on something. And there were people in front of me. I knew them, but I don't know them. And they were just like enjoying the ride. And so I started getting worried. I felt like I was being pushed by spirit. I was not in control. I was being pushed. It wasn't just the water. There was another force pushing me. And excuse me. And so I'm going faster and faster and faster, and then all of a sudden I'm thinking to myself, this is crazy. And I heard, well, you can fly. So I put my feet under me, and with the strength I was being pushed, I took off. And I took off into the sky. And I don't like heights. I don't like heights at all. But I consciously knew not to be afraid. So I took off up. I just kept going higher and higher like a balloon. I felt like I didn't have control over the height I was taking. And when I got up above the trees, I looked down, I looked around, and there were tornadoes in different spots. I had this bird's eye view, and I could see little mini storms in different places, and people running, and I kind of like flew And I went around. It's like, wow, I got superpowers. This is fucking cool. And then for some reason, I recognized I was in some kind of battle. And I landed down on this field, and there were other people there that I knew were on my team. I don't know how to explain it. It was a feeling. It wasn't like, hey, Therese, welcome. You're here. You made it. Like, nobody, it was a knowing. And there was a tornado here, and I started, that's right, when I landed, and I noticed that there were tornadoes, little coming here and coming there, and there was this red, like, barn. I started running, and I could run super fast. So I had that power too. I was like Flash. And I started running super fast to like dodge the fucking tornadoes and shit. And there was this, there was another girl there. Like there was like a couple people there that had superpowers like me. Like I just knew it. And this thing, like this, like, I'm gonna call it a monster. It was like this really huge green, like robotic creature thing, like this snake thing or whatever. It had the head of a snake. It was green. The body, it was just, it came up out of the trees, and there was a tornado over here, and there was like this, it was like a tornado, but it was fire, and it was over here on the left, and there was all this chaos going on, and this creature came up out of nowhere, real big, like Godzilla sized fucking thing. And this girl that was there, she took out this sword, and this creature started laughing at her, and he was like, what is that gonna do? I have all these other, I don't know what he called them. I have all these other beings with me. I have all this power behind me. And so she backed down. She was afraid to hit him with the sword. And like, I was thinking, like, just cut his fucking head off. Like, what are you doing? Like, we got superpowers, bro. Like, just fucking slice the bitch, And she was like, she got like all freaked out. And this snake monster being was talking all this shit. So I took the sword from her, and I just started fucking hacking at the dude. And as he was talking shit, nothing else came to protect him. There were no other, fucking robots to save his life. There was nothing. It was just him. He was all talk, and I started hacking at him, and it was like, when like a computer dies, he's like talking all this shit, but I'm hacking at him, and his mouth was open, and he had like this tongue, like the robot tongue, and I started pulling on it and pulling on it and pulling on it, and the thing finally just like died. It was like a fight. It was almost like a tug of war. And once it like just like collapsed, his mouth was still stuck open, and I kept pulling on his tongue, and this like robotic tongue, I didn't have to keep pulling. it got easier to pull, and I started pulling, and it turned into film, like the camera film. And it was a record of his whole life and who created him and where he came from and who programmed him. And like, it was just the truth. It was a whole reel of film of the truth, and I kept pulling and pulling, and I could see this creature's whole life. It's like I knew it was like all his memories. I knew it was like his whole life, and I just pulled it all out until there was nothing left to pull. And it was this big pile of exposed film just laying on the ground, and I just left it there. And as the sun hit it, it was just exposed. Like, when you expose film to the sun, it's just destroyed. I left it there because I saw everything that was on it. I saw the whole story, and I just left it there, and I left the fucking body there. And I walked away, and then it was like survival mode, and he had like this flashlight or something attached to him. I was like, oh, this is good. And I pulled that shit off of him, and I went about my business, and I woke up. The truth is about to be exposed. Something's getting exposed. Some Wizard of Oz. Something that seems bigger than it is about to be pulled down and exposed. I don't know what. Hopefully it's not an actual giant fucking Godzilla robot snake that I have to physically fight. But, and I don't know what this truth is. Like I said in the film, it was who created him, who made him, and or maybe it doesn't mean jack shit, and it was just a weird fucking dream. I don't know, but it felt very symbolic. It felt very real, and it felt like a battle that's about to be won. It just felt like I'd share that.